everyone, it's Karen with Yes Please Paper Crafts, and today I'm going to be doing a layout share. I've never done a layout share before, so this will be my first one, and so I hope it doesn't get too long. Now I do have a blog post for every single one of these layouts, and I'll put a link to my blog in the description of this video, so you can just click more info for this video and it'll give you the link to my blog. This first layout also has a scrapbook process video that I did a few days ago, and I posted it out there on YouTube, and one of my subscribers was nice enough to let me know that I had misspelled the word niece. So lucky for me, I had not glued these stickers down, so I was able to go and change it, but I'm always misspelling that word, so thank you so much for letting me know that it was misspelled. I also made a few changes to this layout. I fixed the ribbon. The ribbon was sticking straight up in the air. I had forgotten to glue it down and it looked terrible in that video. So I fixed the ribbon and I glued it down to the place I wanted it to be. I added some Heidi Swap Color Shine. And when I did that, my bottle, I only have a little small bottle and it's getting close to being empty, which is really sad because it's discontinued and I'm not going to be able to get any more. But anyway, I was splattering, and part of it came out really nice, a nice pretty gold, but some of them came out really dark, and I actually got a blob right here. And sometimes you can have a happy accident because I kind of like the way that I covered it up. I added this floral sticker that I got from a sticker book and a couple more enamel dots, and I think that looks cute. So I was happy with the way this layout turned out, and I just thought I would share my changes and let y'all know that I do know that the word was misspelled. So anyway, the rest of these layouts are from March of this year. I took a class with NicoleJones911. The class was called Scrap-A-Thon 3. And I think I did probably, I missed maybe like 4 or 5 days. But then I made extra layouts for some of the other days. So I think I have about 27 layouts here. Plus I have 3 or 4 digital layouts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip through all of these layouts. And then at the end, I will also show you pictures of my digital layouts. Now, I've never done digital layouts before, so that was kind of my first attempt. So I like doing both digital and the traditional layouts, but I much prefer doing the traditional layouts with paper. I mean, paper is just awesome, and anytime I get to work with paper, I just love it. So anyway, okay, so let me go ahead and move this over here, and we'll get started with the layouts. So the first layout is from day 1 of Scrapathon 3, and in this one the prompt was using pattern paper, and so I was able to use quite a few different patterns. I used a floral, a stripe, a polka dot, a wood grain, and I think that's about it. So I got a lot of pattern paper in there, and this picture was taken back in 2018. I had attended the Scrap Dat Crop in Mandeville, Louisiana. And they have an early bird drawing, and I won the drawing for that year and won $200. So that was a really fun picture to scrap, and really good memories of going shopping with my friends at the crop. And yeah, that was pretty cool. So that's layout number 1. Layout number 2 is from day 2 of Scrapathon 3. And I'm not going to keep saying Scrapathon 3 because it's really difficult for me to say. I'm just going to tell you what day it's from, because all of these layouts are from Scrapathon 3. Okay, so this one is using squares. And one of the things that Nicole Jones had talked about was actually turning a square at an angle, and I'd never done that before. And I thought that this was so much fun to turn this one square at an angle. It kind of gave this layout a really cool look. And this picture is my nephew and my 2 nieces, and they were in Hawaii, and it was during the summer, so it's a summer adventure layout. So that's the name of it. So there's that one. Day 3 was on, what was day 3? Resist technique. In this background right here, I used a resist technique that Nicole showed us how to do. And this picture is of my mom. We went to Key West, Florida, and we actually visited the butterfly conservatory there. And this butterfly landed on her, and she just got so tickled by having that butterfly just come and visit her. So That's what this one is. And the title of this is very long. It says, if you want the butterfly to visit you, be a flower. So my mom's so sweet. I love her to death. Okay, day 4 was using a jelly plate. Now the funny thing was, I took a online card classes class, and one of the optional things that you could do was using a jelly plate. Well, I bought the jelly plate, but I never got around to doing that optional, project. And so when I got to day 4 of Nicole Jones class, I was able to use my jelly plate for the first time. And I created this really cool background you see here, and using my jelly plate. And then these are pictures of me and my sister. We went on a cruise back in February, and no, actually it was back in January, end of January, beginning of February. And I just think this one turned out so cute. Somebody even said, I didn't really intend this, but it kind of looks like we're in the water because this blue color kind of blends into the blue of the water behind there. I think it looks cool. So there's that one. And the title of this one is Cruisin' Sisters. I like to try to come up with titles that are interesting, but sometimes it's a challenge. And I think I have 2 pages in this stack that have the same title. I don't know how I did that, but it happens. Okay, this next one was using paint to create a background. And I used a roller and some acrylic paint and just painted on the background. And I actually did 3 layouts. I love this so much, and I was playing with it, so I had a bunch of different backgrounds to choose from. This is a picture of my dog Lilybell, and the title of this layout is One Happy Dog, because she is so happy, and she always looks like she's smiling and laughing. And this is just such a cute picture of her. So I have that one, and then I have 2 more with the painted background. The next one is from IKEA. We went shopping at IKEA. This was back in Thanksgiving in November last year. The only time I get to go to IKEA anymore is when I go to visit my sister, because she lives in Sugar Land, Texas, and there's no IKEA in Louisiana where I am. So anytime I go to visit her, we usually make a trip over to IKEA. And this is my niece, my mom, and then my sister and my mom. And we just had a blast that day shopping at IKEA. So there's that one. The next layout is also a painted background, and it's from February of 2019 when I got my braces. When I left the orthodontist office, I took a selfie, and the title of this layout is called Brace Face But Still Smiling. So I'm hoping I'm going to be getting my braces off in about 4 or 5 months. At least that's what the orthodontist told me when I went this week. So that would be awesome. Okay, next up is day 6, I believe. Look at my notes. Day 6, making a background. So this particular technique was all about making a background. I used some distress inks and made a really colorful background, and then I also used a stencil and made these houses in the background, and then these ones on top are actually stickers. And this layout is called Life is So Bright and Colorful. So that's my house in Texas. I sold it back in 2015 and moved back to Louisiana. And I think this layout's really cute. I just love how the background turned out. Okay, for day number 7, we did use a stencil. And so the technique was all about using stencils. And I did this background using Distress Oxide inks and a stencil. And then this picture is from my backyard. I had this little tiny tree that just generated, I don't know, probably 500 oranges over the course of, 4 or 5 months. And this was the last day that I picked oranges. I went up in the tree and I picked all of these oranges. This was what was left over. And if you look at the tree, that was before I picked the oranges. There's still oranges. All of these oranges came off that tree. So it was just amazing. And the other thing that was really awesome was the oranges were so sweet and they tasted so good. And I was bringing them everywhere. I brought them to the doctor's office, the orthodontist, my friend's house, my mom, my sister, everybody, my neighbors, everybody got oranges. And it was really fun. And the title of this layout is Orange Picking. Okay, This is day 8, and day 8 was all about using circles. And the funny thing about this particular layout was all of these little circles here came in a freebie that I got from a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator when I placed an order. And and it was supposed to be used to make cards, and I just never did make the cards. But it has been sitting in my stash for probably 8-9 years. And when I got this technique to use circles, I just thought that'd be cool. I could use those circles and make a layout. And this picture was taken back in when I lived in Texas. This is my good friend Anna Marie, and the title of this is Good Friends. Okay, next one is use a sketch. Now, I don't know that I've really talked too much about how I scrapbook. I've mentioned it a few times in my scrapbook process videos. I only have 2 of those. But I tend not to use sketches. I usually just start scrapbooking, and whatever happens, it happens. So I actually had a lot of fun actually using a sketch. And I used that sketchbook. And I think this layout came out adorable. These were pictures that were taken when we went to Las Vegas to celebrate my sister Terry's 50th birthday. And yeah, thought that looked really cute. And I think this is Echo Park Here We Go collection. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure this is Echo Park, but if you want more information about the collection, you can go to my blog and look there. I'm really bad with remembering, you know, all the different collections and things after I've used them. Okay, this was day number 10. For day number 10, we learned how to use pockets, and this is my first pocket scrapbook layout that I've ever done. This was, the title of this one is called Royal Caribbean Cruise. And this is really cool because it has multiple pockets. And then I created these little tabs that you can pull out. And back here, I'm putting the information for the ports that we've visited. And then here is going to be information about the ship. So I just think this is adorable. And I scrap lifted this right from Nicole Jones because when she did the video for day 10, this was kind of the same thing that she did. She did a cruise layout. So it's not exactly the same. I kind of did mine a little different. But yeah, I loved her layout, and I just decided to do one that was similar. Day 11 was recipe. And for this recipe, I used a cut file from Paige Evans. I used gesso on pattern paper. I'd used mixed media background, inks and sprays, a stencil, texture paste, thread, pastel colors, and tone-on-tone embellishments. Now, I watched Missy Whidden's video. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. She does a lot of mixed media, and I'm really inspired by her, but I'm not, you know, she's like amazing at doing mixed media. But I wanted to do a mixed media layout that was inspired by some of the ones I've seen Missy Whidden do. And so that's what this layout is. So I thought it came out pretty cool. I even used thread. Missy used thread on every single layout she does. Next we have day 12, and this one is a double layout. And the title of this layout is called Cosmos at Silver Creek. And back in, when was this? 2017, I believe, we went to Fredericksburg, Texas to visit the wineries there and to celebrate my sister Jeannie's 50th birthday. And we stopped at this place called Silver Creek, and we had Cosmos. So we had a lot of fun there in Fredericksburg. Then for day 13, I have bingo. And the bingo was, we had a bingo card, and you got to just try to make bingo out of all the things on there. And I can't remember exactly which things that I used on this layout, but it is on my blog if you're interested in finding out what it was that I actually had to do. But I did use my fringe scissors, and I made this fringe. And I just love this one. This is of my cat Bungie. She's no longer with us, but and this page is titled My Beautiful Angel. She was just such a sweet cat, and really, I think this layout turned out really pretty. Okay, next up is day 14 and washi tape. And this is my niece Haley and her dog Shiloh, and the layout is titled Doggone Awesome. And I had a lot of fun with this because I love paper, but I also love washi tape. And anytime I can use this much washi tape on a layout, it's awesome. So I did this background with washi tape, and it was I think this was a roll of washi tape I got from Michael's, and it had all kinds of different dog. I think there's like probably 10 different washis in that pack, and I just used all of them. I just went through and just started putting it on a white sheet of cardstock and made that background. Now, it was a little bit challenging because when I did my title, when I first put these letters on there, it kind of blended into the background. So I went around it with a black pen and made it really pop and stand out. So I thought that turned out awesome. For day 15, we had freestyle, and basically that was just do whatever you want. And that's right up my alley because I love to just go and scrapbook and not really have a plan. So I was at my craft night, which we have every Tuesday night, and I had a page kit, and I just started scrapbooking, and this is what I came up with. And the title for this layout is Smile Pretty, and this is just the most hilarious picture of my little dog Bella. She's got this cheesy little grin. It's just funny. So, and then I just had a bunch of embellishments in that page kit, and I just put them all on the page. So. That's that layout, freestyle. For day 16, we had to use scraps, and so I created this layout using scrap paper, and the name of this layout is called I'm Outstanding, and the saying is, I'm going to stand outside, so if anyone asks, I'm outstanding. So I thought that was cute. And then this is a picture of me. I took a selfie. This was my very first selfie ever, and so I thought that was a pretty cool picture to scrap. You don't really scrap too many pictures of yourself, so I think this is one of the first ones I ever did of myself. Or no, maybe it was the braces. It might have been the braces one. Okay, next up is this one, which is create a scrapbook layout in 30 minutes. Did I do this in 30 minutes? No, I didn't. But I do have pictures of what it looked like after 30 minutes, and then pictures of the finished layout. So I did get quite a bit done, and I believe I finished this layout in an hour and 20 minutes, I believe. So this is pictures from a winery tour that we took when we were in Fredericksburg, Texas. We went to the Becker Vineyards, and we took a tour of the winery, and that's what the pictures were from. So I thought that came out really cool. For day 18, we had to do a grid layout, and this one is called The Sweet Life. And these pictures were taken at the ice cream shop, Old Town Slidell, and my sister Jeannie and her husband Steve and Haley, her daughter Haley, were visiting from Texas, and we went there to have ice cream. So that's this layout. The next one was day 22, so I skipped a few days. I didn't do day 19, 20, or 21. I might have done one of those in a digital layout, which will come at the end. This particular layout is hand stitching, and this is the first time I've ever hand stitched on a layout. And I had I'm not going to remember, but someone on YouTube, I watched a video of somebody doing circles and doing this stitching technique with sequins, and so I kind of scrap-lifted it from them, but I don't remember who it was, so I'm sorry. But it's also called The Sweet Life. This is a picture of me. We were goofing around at the zoo, and my sister snapped this picture of me being goofy with the stuffed animals there. Okay, I like the stitching so much, I did 3 layouts. So this one here is called You Plus Me. This is a picture of me and my mom around my birthday, and I just think this came out so pretty. And I like this one. I actually did journaling up here, and I'm trying to do more journaling on my layouts. Sometimes I tend to scrapbook and I don't have a plan, and I don't leave a space to do any journaling. So I'm trying to figure out how to try to make sure that I leave space for journaling, and that's one of the things I'm trying to work on this year. Okay. Now we have one more with hand stitching. This was a layout that I did of my dog, Lilybell, and this one is titled Sweet Girl, and I think this is really cute, and I managed to get my journaling in this one as well. This is day 23, which was paper tearing, and I I had a house when I first moved over back to Louisiana. This house was on the water on a lake, and I only lived there for about 18 months, and I found that I just didn't really like living there in that house. The house just didn't suit me, so I went and downsized to a smaller house, and one that didn't have water in the backyard. So this was kind of my dream home on the water that turned out not to be really my dream, maybe somebody else's dream. But it was fun to live there. I kind of felt like I was on vacation all the time. It didn't really feel like home though, which is kind of strange. Now I live in a house that's an older house. It was built back in the 1960s, and I like it much better. It's in an established neighborhood, and I have a backyard that's just grass, and I like that. So. And then the technique was tearing paper, and I tore paper here to create the hills and at the bottom here. This layout is from day 27, and it's using punches. And the name of this layout is Best Day, Best Mom. And this is a picture of my mom. And I just love this layout because I used a punch, and I created all these borders and then just layered them one on top of the other. And it created this really cool background. And then because the background was so busy, I used a piece of vellum so that it kind of like muted the background, so that when I put my title stood out more. So that is the last layout that I have that's traditional. I have 3 additional, I think 3 or 4 digital layouts that I'm going to show you now. And so I'm going to have to get on the computer to do that, so I'll be right back. This layout is for day 20, and for day 20 the technique was to use a large format picture. And so I used a picture that was taken on the cruise that we went on in January. The title of this layout is Just Chillin', and it was so cold up on the deck. I was wearing a sweater. It was really cold. So it was cold and raining, I think, almost the entire time we were on that cruise. But it was still fun, and this layout was a lot of fun to create. Next up is a layout from day 26. In this layout, we had to use lots of pictures. So I had these selfies that I took with my dog Bella, and just tried to get as many as I could on this page. And I also wanted to include journaling, so I came up with this page layout, and I thought it was pretty cute. Okay, and the last layout is of my cat Bungie. This was at Christmas, and she had more fun playing with the tissue paper and the ribbon and all the gift wrap than she did with the toys that we got her for Christmas. And so on this one, it's called Dear Santa, and it says, Dear Santa, all I want for Christmas is some tissue and some ribbon. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this layout share. If you like this video, please give it a like. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.